Ms. Monica Malhotra Khandari is the Senior Director of the MBD Group. She has taken the publishing business of MBD to newer heights. Ms. Monica has designed the interiors of all the ventures of MBD Group, which include Radisson Blu MBD Hotel Noida and Radisson Blu MBD Hotel Ludhiana. For her exceptional work, she's been honored with the Global Punjabi Society Award in the field of publishing in 2013, the prestigious Indira Gandhi Priyadarshini Award in 2007, and many more. Let's welcome Ms. Monica Malhotra Khandari.
Well, I'm slightly confused whether to say good morning or good afternoon. So very good morning and very good afternoon to all of you here. And the ICT, ACT members, I want to congratulate them for putting up such meaningful forums. Well, today the talk is about designing the future. Now, who designs the future? Me? You? No. It's the behavioral pattern of each and every individual of the nation which is going to decide the future of India. Not me and you alone. In this, technologies today is the main subject here, so I will talk about that. In my journey of 44 years of my life, I've seen India growing next level to next level and technology growing at a faster pace. Yes, as I do agree, as the chairman of ICT, ACT said, that we are not as advanced as we should be. For that, we have to do what? What we normally do is we base our future actions on the obvious behavioral patterns we see today. And we decide what should be our actions near future. But if we have to be advanced, we have to think 5 years, 10 years hence. So we have to be sensitive about the initial stages of changes in behavior pattern so that we can imbibe the changes well on time. I want to quote over here, the famous quote I think you all must have read, but we always overestimate the change that occurs in next 2 years and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10 years. Yes, we do that. We do that behavioral pattern we have. Now, let me support you this with one example. This is Nokia communicator here, brought out in 1999, and with internet connectivity, we could access internet. At that time, no one would have thought, in years to come, mobile will become, internet will become part of human body. This is what I'm saying, if we look 5 to 10 or 15 years hence, we can well prepare ourselves. The technology, the software is eating the world. It's a pun, of course, but the way we are consuming technology, the way we are using the internet, the way we are downloading the apps, using the videos, I think the rate at which this is growing, we can easily compare it to the children getting born in India. I'm coming from educational background. I'm an educational publisher, so that's being my favorite subject. I would like to harp today upon the technologies, the disruptive technologies which have affected, I'll say affected, I'll talk about affected later, positively affected or going to affect the publishers, the educational fraternity, the teachers, the students, the whole community. Talking about the first one is the augmented reality. I'm proud to say that as MBD, we were the first movers to bring that into education in India. And now today we have in almost all of our books, it's a technology. You'll see a video over here. You just download the app, which is free, and with a phone which is about a 4,000 or 4,000
Light
plus,
phase
you can
or
avail the experience
photochemical
of
phase.
e-learning. Here we have
Photosynthesis
taken
is the
out
process in
the
which solar energy
the
is
extra
trapped
expense,
by
over expense, or
autotrophic
costly expense which we do it
organisms
on
and
hardware.
convert it into glucose.
It's just a simple technology through which a student can do the self-study, availing the difficult, whenever they come across with difficult concepts, they can avail of these videos which are inbuilt with voiceovers and understand a concept better.
Light energy and are passed through an electron transport chain where they are used to reduce the electron carrier NADP to metabolic pathways in stroma.
Going to the next one, till the video is getting over, going to the next one was Google Glasses. Recently there was a lecture given by a doctor while operating, wearing Google Glasses, giving the lecture to the medical students, where the students could see what's happening in the operation theater live, and also answering their queries where the students were elsewhere, maybe in other countries. This, according to our vision over there, what we have discussed, that Google Glass is going to be one of the key tools being used in education in near future, more and more used. Giving one more example, there was a teacher of physics. He went to a museum elsewhere in some other country, so he could tell his students in his base country that what he's seeing over there. So the technology is actually bridging the gap. There, as it was told, there is, in this forum, there are a lot of teachers. I mean, you teachers have imparted education in most tough circumstances, most challenging circumstances. Yes or no? There's some teachers here? Yes. So these tools will make your imparting of education easier. These are your friends. So we should not fear them. The next one is 3D printing. We'll see a small video, this which we have introduced new to the schools. Can we have the video, please? Here, whatever comes across to your mind as a student, you can make the object right in the classroom, a 3D object. Dissection of few while doing laboratory experiments in biology class are prohibitive. Now, with these prototypes, you can dissect, okay, let's say a human heart, you can scan and you can make a prototype of a human heart and dissect it and see how a human heart is structured from inside. So it's all about technology, it's all about bridging the gap of what we imagine and what reality is. So this becomes an effective tool for students to learn, and nothing left to imagination, of course. Let's go to the next one, I think. Of course, we were talking about education, and we are talking about that, we're talking about technology, the intervention. There's a lot of, we can make products. The publishers can make the products, but it's for you teachers to bring about that pivotal change. So as it was said by one of the respected speakers before, imparting that or getting that skill to use those tools is the key fulcrum. The change will not come unless and until the teachers upskill themselves to impart and use these tools and impart training and learning through this. Some interesting examples what technology has done in other fields I came across when, just while reading that The way consolidation is happening through technology is one of the, this beautiful app everybody must be using today is Uber and Ola, where taxi business has become so consolidated, where it gives you an experience where you don't have to wait long for availing this service, and also it is a cashless payment. So such experiences technology has brought about. We always think that there's a lot of investment which is required to do any kind of business to become an entrepreneur. Technology gives you that platform. With low investment, you can get better returns. So as teachers also, what I'm trying to correlate is, as teachers, when we think technology is there, is going to make us obsolete. No. In fact, it gives you an opportunity to not to teach 40 students in the class, but to 4 million students in the world. So this is what technology does to us. So it's our friend. Till we don't consider it as a friend, the change will not be brought into the classrooms. It'll be only theoretical, it'll be fashionable equipment sitting in the schools, that yes, the equipments are sitting but not used. I just want to show you that change has come into our teaching methodologies and classrooms. It's not that change has not come in. It's just that we have to accelerate that change faster. If you see these classrooms, this is 1900 classroom. It is a simple classroom where you see there's no uniformity. You can see different kind of uniforms. And then as we went ahead, there was more uniformity. And there's a simple classroom. When I used to study, this was the classroom that time. And today, the classroom has become digitized. And we are at the threshold. This is present, but we are at the threshold of elevating it further with tablets. Introduction has already started. Government has started taking the initiatives whereby a collaborative learning environment can be created. So this is the future in education. Going further, we have talked about 3D, we have talked about the collaborative learning, will be the 5D learning. I mean, just imagine where, if we have to talk about a monument, we have to teach history, or we have to teach social sciences. Here the virtual environment is created. If you see the child is experiencing the sea world, nothing is left for imagination. The technology helps us to traverse from education to edutainment, where children love to learn. And once they love to learn, we have brought about that change. Another thing which is going to happen in education is, like we said, there are analytics available. When we have some kind of software in the classrooms, we can analyze whether the students are learning, are absorbing. In collaborative environment where the tablets are, a teacher can get to know whether the child is performing in the class or reading in the class or performing a test or not. With intervention of biometrics you must have seen in security agencies or some kind of identification equipment. But in classrooms, this will be in future used to capture the image of the eye and analyze whether the child is absorbing your lecture or not, which a normal human eye cannot do. So this is again another example is the scanning of the eye will help you to understand what the child wants, the child is understanding also or not. So this is what I'm saying. As educationists, we have to welcome the change. If you do not welcome the change as a publisher, as a teacher, or as an educationist, will be replaced. So this is the need of the hour. So we need to skill and upskill ourselves at all levels. At MBD, we always strive to bring out new technologies so that it can benefit the education fraternity, and making platforms where all stakeholders can collaborate. Thank you very much for listening to me today. I know you have a lot of patience.